Greetings and salutations. Welcome to a special Friday night show because that's the day they decided to release the pedal. I'm Ben and welcome, subscribe, welcome back if you're returning. We've got Rob from Tesi Switch, which ties into all this, which started on a conversation a couple weeks ago, folks. A fella saw a demo on a Keeley phaser, and Rob here, being my favorite Keeley dealer in the whole planet, I said, "You got that?" And he says, "No, but I can get it real quick." I said, "Okay." And he says, "But there's something else coming out." I said, "Oh?" And he says, "But I can't really tell you."
I didn't divulge any secrets at all.
No. I all I gathered was there was a collaboration between an artist and Robert Keeley for the second time. I'm like, okay. And then I inferred. And then the hint, I said, "What kind of pedal?" And he said, "A guitar pedal." A guitar pedal.
Yeah.
So
exactly what I said.
Hence the original title of tonight's show, a new Keeley pedal, because I hadn't dropped yet, and he kept his mouth shut. And then it came out, and I went, we adjust the title. So, yes,
trying to figure out the way my head is going to be the least shiny, but you still be able to. Maybe I just put my hat up real high on my head like Rick Nielsen.
There we go. Be like Uncle Rick.
Yeah. How's everybody doing? How's Ben doing?
Ben's doing well. Dad's back home from the hospital, so Ben's doing well.
Oh, good. Very good.
Yeah. And I think I just heard him moving around upstairs. So he's getting more mobile. I see my sister Amanda in there. There you go, Seth. Update on Dad. I'm pretty sure I just heard him moving around up there. Who else we have? We have Martin staying awake for now. He says, "Great meeting you at NAMM" from L&M Guitar Corner. And who else do we have here? Ferd Burfel, Mark Taft, Graphite and Cigars, Blackjack Guitar, Joe Hervey 84, Steven Franklin, Jeff K, Jeff Puddlester, Nick KB Music's already ordered 2 of these pedals. Whew. Symmetry's here. Nice. Paul McNary and the Cats, Eric Warrington. Nice. Bunch of folks rolling in. Awesome. Yes, so the Andy Timmons AT Mod, is that what it's the official name?
Super AT Mod, yeah.
Super AT Mod. I forgot the Super Mod.
Yeah, I'll just give you some close-ups on the view here. Here you go. Here's the pedal. It's this amazing looking kind of like metallic, a candy apple red.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the signature right there. I guess that's an Andy Timmons signature.
Nice.
Of course, AT means Andy Timmons. So what is this pedal? Well, this is and the knobs. These knobs are metal and red and very cool, matching the thing. So this is a little bit of backstory. Andy Timmons has been using a Keeley modded blues driver on his pedal board since before time has been keeping record of how long Andy Timmons has been what he's had on his pedal board. So what they did with this pedal was they took a Keeley modded BD2, and that's what you get on. There's a little toggle switch there in the middle where it switches from, on this side it says AT, and then on this side it says fat with a PH as the vernacular of the youngins these days. Yep. So the and the difference is going to be real slight. I did an Instagram live earlier on this, and when I went back to listen to it, I couldn't hear the difference in the video, but I can sitting in front of the amplifier. So it's just a little bit of a bass boost on the fat side. What I know about this pedal now is Andy Timmons has been using this. It's replaced the Keeley modded BD2 on his pedal board. He's actually using 2 of these, one in each mode for different tones. And then I believe going through a Marshall, which you'll be able to hear probably a much better demo of it if you go check out, I think, his channel later. I was going to say at the top of the next hour, in an hour from now, on the Keeley Electronics channel, they will be going live demoing it. And by the way, what that live is going to be Robert Keeley and Andy Timmons at the Guitar Sanctuary in Texas. Yes, which is a very cool store. If you've never been or heard of it, it's a really cool store. So anyway, here's the pedal. It's and basically my understanding was the original Fat mod. It raised the bass and some lower mids. And Andy said, "Okay, but can we take away a few frequencies
for his mod. And yeah, it sounds great. Hey, Zims, good to see you. I checked out the premiere that Robert and Andy put out earlier today, which was awesome. Oh, apparently you just sold one. Nick KB Music just ordered another one.
Wow, excellent. Well, thank you so much.
What's up, Riff?
Like any order that is placed, it means so much to me. I can't even tell you how much.
And apparently you used my code. Awesome. I'm just saying, folks, the pedal came out today and you're not going to find a better deal on the internet. I'm just saying, because
I'm technically not allowed to discount it, but that code's already in place. What am I going to do?
The digital tools. Yeah. What can you do? Nelson, what's up, my friend? He says, Rob, I purchased 2 of the 12 millimeter momentary switches from your reverb page a few months back. Like, thank you, man. You're a super far out dude, man.
Thank you. It really does all mean a lot. So, who wants to hear the pedal?
Right? Hey, Addicted to Gear. I want to hear it.
All right. Well, let's go. So what I'm running through, you can't really see it behind. Maybe you can. So this is a matchless SC Mini. It's their, we'll say it's a PCB version of their something amplifier. It's a small amp. It's got plenty of juice to it. It sounds fantastic, and this is the clean tone. Let me grab a pick out of my pocket. Oh, I better have a pick in here. I'll be really, as a guitar player, I'm going to be embarrassed if there's not a guitar pick.
I have a Master 8 pick right here.
I don't have a guitar pick. Luckily, all my stuff.
Oh, and we should mention that Rob's broadcasting from his new brick and mortar storefront.
Well, it's really more of like a tiny
global distribution center.
And the room I'm in now, we've used it as a rehearsal room. I'm going to deck it all out and put some displays up. I've got a handful of amps along this wall, and I've got a couple along other stuff. But yeah, and then I've got a fairly decent sized warehouse out back, which
and free shipping on all in-person purchases.
Yeah, free. If you come here, you don't pay shipping.
Yep. Just saying.
I've disappeared to go find some guitar picks.
And be cool like my sister and hit that like, please. Awesome. Yeah, we're going to check out some tones with this pedal. And also we have the new Keeley vintage phaser that Rob was playing with off air beforehand, which is actually mine. Soon to be.
Well, I got him in just at your request. You asked if I had them, and Keeley does a lot of custom shop stuff that isn't really available to dealers, but every once in a while I'll see something come up and I'll ask them if there's a handful of them I can buy, and sometimes they say no, and sometimes in this case I was able to get what I needed, so it's fantastic. All right, so now I have my guitar pick. I have my guitar. Have you guys seen this, by the way? We'll talk about this in a minute if you're interested, but this is my
I think you showed it the last time you were on.
Yeah, it's my Mean Street modded.
It's awesome.
Yeah, crazy. Okay, so here we go, clean tone. We'll start with bridge position. And that's pretty dirty, so I'm going to clean it up a little bit. You hear it okay?
Yep.
Does it need to be louder?
And it's not compressing or anything.
Could it be louder? Well, let's turn the pedal.
I was going to say we may run into compression on here.
So I'm going to start with the pedal, and I wish I could show you a close-up while I'm doing it, but I can't. I'm going to start with everything at 12 o'clock.
Awesome.
Good way to go.
It just compressed just at the end there.
So probably, what do you think? Just keep it how it is, or could it go up?
Yeah, I think so. Because as long as you're not letting it ring out like that, it sounds really, really good.
All right, great. So that's everything at 12 o'clock. Andy Timmons isn't necessarily known for these days he does a lot of I would call it like very smooth sounding overdrive in but you know, he's not a high gain guy, and the way he achieves his tone really is by utilizing multiple kind of low gain solutions to get that creaminess across the tones, right? So I don't necessarily
we should mention the pedal is very aware of pick attack. Like if you don't dig in, it'll clean right up.
Well, that's true. Okay, so here's the same settings. So yeah, it's a very big difference, and Andy is known for his subtlety when it comes to picking techniques and, you know, things that clean up with a small adjustment of the volume knob or you know, in this case, the picking technique. I also got a train going by. I also have a Boss Wazacraft Blues driver behind me plugged in at the same time. I'll just tell you, I did a comparison earlier today, and it's not distinguishable tonally. Maybe when you kick that fat mod on there, that brings in the bottom end. It's a lot of that can be made up for with the tone knob. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's the bridge pickup, neck pickup. So that's on the AT. I'm going to flip the switch to the fat side.
Okay.
You're probably not going to hear a difference. Let me know if you do, though. Flip it back. That's so subtle.
A little bit of difference.
What'd you say?
Subtle, but there is a difference.
Yeah. I wonder, though. All right, so I'm going to turn.
Yes, Nelson.
And the drive up to what would be 3 o'clock. Put it back on the neck pickup. Now that was on the fat. Let's flick it back. Kind of just having fun with this pedal because it sounds so dang good.
Yeah, and Terry says, geez, that sounds greasy. Well, that's why I ordered one. And I will say, originally, the original Fat Mod was designed for single coil pickups, according to Robert, to fatten them up. Okay. Whereas Andy plays more with a humbucker, and that's also his setting is more designed for humbuckers. So you got basically a humbucker to single coil toggle in many ways, folks. So mention that as well.
There you go. So I wonder if, so that was, you've heard my neck and my bridge, but here's the middle position.
Yes. Yes.
This guitar is disgusting. It's so good. All right, that's regular AT mode. Here's a fat mode. So I can definitely hear it. It's more pronounced this way. This pedal just has a lot to it. I don't even have the gain all the way up at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But with not a lot left to go, let's just turn it all the way up and see what happens. Bridge position.
Still doesn't get muddy.
Huh?
It's still not muddy. Like you've dimed the gain and it's still not muddy. That's awesome.
It's not. No, it sounds fantastic. It sounds fantastic in this room. It's a neck pickup.
Graphite Guitars is asking if you have the trouble with that. Where do you have the tone sitting?
The tone is just above. It's like at 1 o'clock.
There you go, Graphite. He was asking if the treble was backed off. Nope, it's actually a little past noon.
But I will say on this guitar, I don't have a tone knob. So what you're just getting, these are pretty bright pickups. These are the DiMarzio Utopia pickups. So let me grab my other Wolfgang, which has a little bit more tame pickups in it. It's they're DiMarzios. It's an Air, Norton, and a Fred.
Cool. And of course, if you have any questions, folks, ask away. I think Nelson Rodriguez bought a pedal as well. Folks, I am taking PayPal donations towards my pedal. PayPal is the best way to go with this. And my birthday's next week, folks. Just week and a half.
Let's see. Yeah. So you know what? Graphite cigars. I think that it might. I'm just telling you, I'm not hearing any sort of squishy treble in the room.
Generally, it's StreamYard that's doing it because we don't have echo cancellation disabled, so it's got a very low headroom.
Yeah.
What's up, Ryan?
Okay, so here's the different pickups. We'll start with the bridge.
What's up, Sean Hockey? Stephen Franklin?
And then here's the neck. So this is going to be the Air Norton.
Nice. What's up, Edwin?
That was the AT mode, and I'll just do a little bit on the fat mode here. I mean, nice. I know I've said it before. I'll say it again. It's the, hey, he says I need a Rodecaster Pro. Is he talking to you or me? I don't know. I have one. I have a Rodecaster Pro that I bought from a friend who was just selling a bunch of gear. I don't even know what to do with it. Probably a better microphone would help, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We're just running through like the standard gear on my laptop. I apologize. I know this is not going to be the best audio demo.
It's just a taste test. Little taste test for our ears. Yep.
But you know what? We're having a good time, and I can
right.
just tell you from, I don't say this about everything, but this is a fantastic sounding pedal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do say it about a lot of pedals, and I'll tell you why. This might not be the tone that you're looking for, but it's definitely going to be the tone somebody's looking for.
Oh yeah.
And I've got, tons of pedals that I don't necessarily like, but I can you know what I do is I recognize that tone in like popular music, stuff that I've listened to.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I went off when that Fear of the Dawn, that Jack White album came out.
Mm-hmm.
He's using so many crazy guitar tones on that I would never one time listen to that guitar tone by itself and go, oh, that's amazing. But the way he fits it together and creates a soundscape with that, I love that record, that whole record. I loved every drop of it. So,
What's up, Gear Junkie? Hey, Graphite says it's all good. Exactly. And my sister's in love with the pedal. So again, folks, if you dig it, order one. I'm just saying. Oh, we won't say anything, Gear Junkie.
And by the way, these pedals, if you haven't already picked up on this from other streams or videos or product knowledge that you might have picked up on today since the pedal was released, but it's limited. And I don't know how many they're going to make total, but when they told me about it a few weeks ago, they said it was going to be limited to 1,000 pieces. And I ordered 30 of them, and they told me that I might not be able to get 30. And then they said, well, okay, so you can get 30, but because the response has been so tremendous on this pedal, we're gonna bolster our production a bit. So I think where they started off at 1,000 units, I don't think they ended there. I don't know what the total number is, but I do know that this is not a pedal that'll be in regular production.
Graphite Cigar says, what are you asking for your birthday? This pedal. This is what I want for my birthday. So I am accepting PayPal donations to get it in time for my birthday.
There you go. Which is, next week?
10 days.
10 days. Man. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You guys, he's going to be a whole 29 years old again.
I wish. Yeah. The 20th annual
20th annual 29-year-old Ben Coombs. Yep. I don't know, my 20th anniversary of my 29th birthday is coming up. Hey, you want to hear that vintage phaser?
Yes. Who wants to hear a vintage phaser from Keeley, folks? 4-knob phaser.
Well, it's not only is it a 4-knob phaser, but it is much in the same way that the Super AT mod is kind of a metallic red. This is a metallic green. I'd definitely call it lime. I feel like the picture that I'm seeing on my computer screen doesn't really do justice.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of something. I don't know.
Hey, yes, it looks just like a crush can. Then it's got this, the script, the vintage phase in a
yes
recognizable script.
I can thank my sister for buying me this Lime Crush at the British store the other day.
Oh, there you go.
Appreciate it.
Well, there you go. Amanda Coombs for the win. Okay. Then the other thing that you've got is this little toggle baby in the middle. Can you see what it says on there?
I believe that's a stage.
And it's got 2, 4, or 6 stage.
Right.
So do you know what that means?
Yes. A 2-stage would be like a phase 45, or 4-stage would be your phase 90, and the 6-stage, I don't know what that is, but it's awesome.
A phase 45, 90, so it'd be a phase
135.
135. All right, let's plug it in.
Hey, Trevor. Good to see you. Dennis, Riff, Michael. I will. Yeah, exactly, Terry. I'll also accept a barbecue that does flange effects.
Okay. So we'll start with the phase, with this stage 2. So that's the stage 2. I like to test the phasers out with kind of a low rate.
Yep.
So you really feel how swirly it is. You know what I mean?
I never go much faster than that anyways. I don't understand the point of a fast phaser. It just makes me seasick.
Well, the other thing is that you can kind of get, you turn the depth up. And that'll kind of help you hear the difference between the phases, right? So that was 2. Here's 4.
Sean says Ben will yeah. I originally ordered this. That's right, Epiphonium.
You can really hear where it's kind of like
yeah.
And then it's weird. All right, here's the stage 6. See, now this has kind of gotten a little away from me. You know what I mean? Like with whatever it means, 6 stages of phase. Maybe.
What's up, Bo? Nice. Looks like Nelson says, okay, I'm back. I purchased 2 of these little bad boys and a little something else. Yes, thanks for the coupon code and the link. You're more than welcome.
Michael, is it Lapincy? Michael Lapincy. You know what's funny is that on my Spotify channel, whatever I have been listening to, like I start with an artist and I'll listen to like whatever from that artist, but then it'll go into like all these other artists because I don't pay for Spotify because I'm a cheapskate.
Right.
And Robin Trower comes up so much, so I know exactly what he's talking about. It sounds exactly like that, like the bridge of, I don't know, whatever, but I don't know the names of the songs, but there's some really cool like Robin Trower. Yeah, that's like that's the tone. But this is
Epiphonium says, I do love phasers. I love them too because I'm ordering that, and I just bought the reissued DoD phaser yesterday.
Nice. That's a great phaser, man.
It is
a great sounding phaser.
I was shocked.
As long as they really made it right. So what do you think they did?
It sounds great. It's a little light. I'm used to DoD pedals weighing, they always seem to be kind of heavy.
So just like the physical weight of it is not sufficient for your expectations.
Yeah. That's the only thing I have. But then again, on a board, it saves a few ounces and your board isn't as heavy as your amplifier. That's a good thing.
Right. So I'm going to put this back to, I really want to try something with this stage 6. I want to tweak these knobs until I think it sounds good. Because it's not that it sounds bad, but it's kind of a lot.
Now, are you running the phaser pre or post game?
It's after the game.
Awesome.
That's what you should do with a phaser, isn't it?
Eddie guy put it out front.
All right.
It's all encompassing when it's post. That's the great thing about it. It's all encompassing.
Yeah. So I turned the rate down. I turned the depth down, and I'm happy with the way this sounds now. I really like it.
Which you would think if you turn the depth down, doesn't that just make it less stages? Because it's not going as far.
Well, okay. I'm
But
not an
no.
expert, so don't anybody don't repost this and be like, this guy's an idiot. I know I'm an idiot, so that's not the question. But the question is it that the phase, basically with a stage 2, you've got it's splitting the guitar signal into 2 and going like this, right?
Right.
And so what you're hearing is the divergent of the 2 signals. Well, then with the 4, you've got 4 signals.
Right.
And with 6, now you've got this.
It's like a tri-chorus, but twice.
So am I
Yeah, and I do know like the stages do make it sound wider, but it's not the same as a full depth control.
Right. So, well, to me, I don't think the stages make it sound wider. I think the stages make it sound tighter. It's it's too because that was the thing when I had the depth turned up. They're all intertwining so far that it's turning it into kind of a mush.
Right.
But then the stage 4, and so I had this pro Nashville player in my shop earlier today, and I had him playing through this, and he was like, this is a great sounding vintage phaser. That you can't get a bad tone on it. He says, but my favorite is the 4-stage. It's like that's where the magic.
Makes sense.
And it does. I mean, I haven't spent. I mean, I just plugged it in today I've had it for a few days, but I just plugged it in today for the first time. And I agree. I mean, what you're seeing now, this is the extent of all the touching I've done on this pedal with my hand on it. I can't see, it's just out of the camera.
Trevor says thank you for the coupon. Just purchased the new vintage phaser. Nice.
You guys are killing me. This is so wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The more you buy, the better deal he'll give me.
What'd you say, Ben?
I said the more they buy, the better deal I get.
Well, that's partially true. So what about without the game? Sounds fantastic. Really
Yes.
great. So, and I don't think you can go wrong. Like any of these new Keeley pedals, I just don't think you can go wrong at all. And if you're going to my website, the first thing you're going to see is the Keeley pedals, like the limited run Keeley pedals that I have. It's the vintage phase, of course, which we're listening to now. It's the Super AT mod, which is a fantastic pedal we heard before. I also have the Realizer pedal that matches this guitar, and I did that on purpose. I had to buy a bunch of those pedals, have them made up in order to get my own design on it. So that's exclusive to Tesi Switch, but the circuit itself, the Realizer's been out there, but I wanted to do something special with one.
Sure.
So that's that one. And then I also have the Roto Sonic, and these are all limited quantities. I got like 5. I think I have 5 of the Roto Sonics left. The Roto Sonic is a rotary speaker simulator that has a Leslie simulator, a Vibrosonic simulator, and a Univibe simulator.
Nice.
And the Univibe, the guy who was in here earlier, he was like that. Like as soon as he flipped it down to the Univibe setting, he was like, "That's a Univibe." And he's
yes, Ryan, that is the Wolfgang that Craig over at CHS did.
Yes, that's right. Yep. It's been my number 1 guitar. Now it's definitely my number 2 guitar because this one has been my number 1 now.
I get it.
Yeah, you know what? I go back and forth. Like which one? Again, they do sound different for a couple of reasons, but I mean, just both amazing guitars.
Like that.
Let's
Make
see.
a little fancy.
Then,
Yes, Univibe and Phaser is Trower for sure.
Yeah. And then the last one is the Parallax, which they did. I don't know how many of those they made, but I got a bunch of them. And the Parallax is like a double pedal. It's kind of like the Caverns. Let me grab one. You can see it.
Nelson, should I do it again and get a vintage phase as well? Yes, Nelson. Yes.
Here's the Roto Sonic that I didn't shut up about a minute ago. Very cool custom shop, Keeley custom shop. Here's the Realizer that I didn't shut up about a minute before that. That matches my guitar. And then here is the Parallax, and it's called the Spatial Generator.
Nice.
And it has a reverb. It's got reverb and delay. You can see the labels on the foot pedals there. If I'm right, yes. So the reverb side is the reverb from the Realizer pedal.
Mm-hmm.
Because it has all the same. It's a soft focus, a reverse reverb, and a hall reverb, which all sound amazing. And this is from a guy like I've told people in the past, back in my olden days when I was basically listening to every amplifier in the world for a living. And I'd sit down with a guitar and they'd go, "Man, doesn't that spring reverb sound great?" And I kind of feel bad now, but at the time I said, here's a tip. Don't ever plug me into an amp and tell me how great the reverb is, because that is the least appealing quality of any amplifier to me. I hate the way reverb sounds on amplifiers. So with that in mind, this is a great reverb choices on the Realizer and on the Parallax. And then the other side is the delay. It's the delay from the Caverns, or the Keeley Caverns.
Okay.
So I believe I'm calling that the right way. I'm pretty sure. You guys want to hear the Roto Sonic just for fun?
Might as well. We'll do that, and then we'll probably wrap things up. I like that idea. I'm trying not to buy 3 pedals here, folks.
Well, I mean, if you're trying not to buy pedals, Ben, I'm not the wrong guy to talk to.
Spatial pedal. Exactly, Michael.
It's really the best pedal for all those guys that are playing at church that need that real wide, like the only way we can praise the Lord is with huge guitar tones. That's the one you need.
Well, it's the only way I can praise. I need big guitar tones.
All right, here we go. Roto Sonic. We'll start with the Leslie, and I'm going to start with a kind of a little bit more than midway depth. More depth, less rate.
DW just purchased one of the Keeley mod or AT mod overdrives. Nice.
Wonderful. I'm going to make sure that these guys get something special when I ship them out.
Nice.
So the Leslie. What did Stevie Ray Vaughan use?
Or Leslie.
I don't know if I'm playing it right, but okay. So then there's the vibro. So this adds a little bit of depth, and I wouldn't call it phase, but it's almost like It's not an octave, but there's like some lower frequencies that are added in. So that's the vibro. So now we got the Univibe sound, and the Univibe sound is can be described as like a harmonic tremolo. I would say it was kind of like in the 60s whenever they came out was kind of that was the electronic pedal solution to a rotary speaker effect, but the unintended benefit of trying to mimic that in a guitar pedal was that there was just something happening with the frequencies which make it very swirly. The guy that was here earlier, his name was also Ben. He said he used the word soupy, and I've always thought it was ridiculous the words that guitar players use to describe the tones that we get, but soupy is perfect.
I use soupy for a good phaser. A good phaser has to have soupiness to it.
Yeah. All right, so here's the Univibe. Oh, let's put some overdrive on.
Nice. And Michael says soupy is one better than creamy. Yes, soupy is that happy place between creamy and muddy.
It's different though. You can be creamy and soupy. Have you ever had bisque?
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. There's we're gonna end this and I'm just gonna play with this pedal for a while because this Univibe sound is just ridiculous. Oh, I'm gonna plug the other guitar in. Because I like the neck pickup sound on this guitar better. Okay, neck. I mean, it really makes me think of that tone that Jimi Hendrix had, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And love him or hate him, I guess most people love him. I like a lot of stuff that Jimi Hendrix did, but not everything. But I can tell you, man, there is one thing that you can never say about Jimi Hendrix, and that his guitar tone sounded like crap. You can never say that. And this is exactly kind of that late 60s. That was the Univibe. It's the Univibe tone, and Keeley captured it just flawlessly.
He did. What's up, Pedal Playhouse? Charles 75N.
See, Michael says the weirder Jimmy got, the better.
Yep.
Maybe. There's times where I listen to it and I go, yeah, this is pretty cool stuff. But then there's also things that I listen to and I go, man, all he's doing is just making noise on the guitar.
See, that's what my dad said. My dad's like, he wasn't a Hendrix fan. He was a great sound technician, but beyond that, he didn't care for him.
No, and like really a great songwriter. You know, I mean, you think of like the guy didn't have terrible songs, but there's and I'm not a jam band guy, so like I can't. There's parts about the Grateful Dead that I think they wrote great songs, but I can't listen to a 14-minute version of Truckin'. Sorry.
Yep.
And I feel that, and it's not exclusive to Jimi Hendrix or the Grateful Dead. It's just not,
Sure.
like I can't listen to 2 chords and a guy just going lee for that. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to be.
I get that way with the Allman Brothers on occasion.
Yeah, and I love the Allman Brothers.
I love the Allman Brothers, but I don't need the 23-minute version of Whipping Post.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you, man. But yes, there are some.
And this is coming from a guy who's played a 15-minute version of Whipping Post on stage.
And there's definitely some special noises coming out of these pedals tonight. So look, we can do a little bit more playing through if you want to, or we can wrap up.
Yeah, we should probably wrap things up here because Robert and Andy will be going live in 15. So
yeah, and that's going to be, like I mentioned earlier, if you haven't joined us by that point. But if you go to Robert Keeley's YouTube, and it's probably going to be on Andy Timmons' YouTube as well, and it's probably going to be on the Guitar Sanctuary's YouTube as well, because they're going to be live at the Guitar Sanctuary in Plano, Texas, or Plano adjacent. I can't remember the exact name of the town that they're in. But yeah, I mean, they're going to have better mics. They're going to have better cameras. But I just want to say thanks everyone who popped in to watch this. Thank you so much. You guys that bought pedals. I don't know what, I'll do something special for you as well. I appreciate everything. I really do.
Yeah. I appreciate everyone tuning in and checking this out. We came up with it over a conversation, and I said, let's do this. And I had fun. Got to hear some great tones. And
me too.
Yeah. So hold the line here. Thanks, everybody that tuned in. Go check out Robert Keeley and Andy Timmons, wherever you'll find them. And I'll be back on Sunday with my sister for the Mother's Day special. And we'll see you all then, folks. So be good to each other. Hold those doors open. Let Rob in heading in traffic, because he's out on tour if he's out in traffic. I'm just saying.
Yeah, sometimes I am.
Sometimes he is. Yeah, especially if it's a tour bus. Let the tour bus in. They got places to go.
Yeah, and when there's a tour bus with a trailer, give those guys plenty of room, because you just never know.
Please. Cheers, folks. Have a good one. And of course, don't let her. Just don't.